morning. How are you? Good to see you. It's Kirsten Liebelt. Jump on in. It's Wednesday. Woo! Jump on in, you guys. It's so good to see you. It's always good to see you here. Always let me know if you are in on the replay. I would love to know where you're coming in from, like how did you get here, all that good stuff. And so, yeah, jump on in. I'm actually waiting for my husband. I'm going to have my husband check my audio on my Facebook for me. So I'll have to see what he says. Microphones can be weird sometimes. So anyway, so today, you guys, I want to talk very specifically. Remember, we talk about insulin resistance every single day. Like we're here, 11 a.m. I'm not sure what that is. He's giving me a sign. What does that mean? Every day we talk about insulin resistance at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, he says it's all good. Okay, thank you, honey. Thank you. It's all good. Woohoo! Okay, we talk about insulin resistance at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, unless it's a holiday or I'm out of town. We've done this, you guys, for like a year and a half. Like this has been going on for a little tiny bit. So I always want to repeat that because there are a lot of people that have zero clue to the encouragement, support, free content that is available for them. And so because of that, they bite off their nose to spite their face. How else do I say that? Like, because sometimes we don't see the value that's in front of us. And because we go through life really, really skeptical. We're just so skeptical of everything all the time. Somebody's out to get me. Somebody wants my money, whatever it is. And it's like, oh, if you'll just tune in, like you should get value from me every single day, whether or not you ever do business with me. Okay, so that's my whole thought process for this morning. But my point being that we're here, but then we also have a group. It's called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Always make sure you give your email to get in. No bots allowed. We're at over like 6,000 women now. And I do a 5-day free, I'm going to sneeze, a free challenge every single month. And we're doing our 28th one coming up starting on Monday. Excuse me. I tried to hold that back, but that wasn't going to happen. Patty, finally, good morning. You know what, Patty? I was a minute late. So I don't know if it was you or it could have been me. I was like questioning my microphone issue. So good to see you. Good to see you. From New York, it's 12 here. Yes, Marilyn, good to see you. I'm so glad that you jumped on. So glad. Okay. And TikTok. I appreciate everybody on TikTok that jumps on. I know it's a weird world over there and it's prone to a lot of scrolling. But if anybody stops and you find the content valuable, will you please double tap the screen? It'll get information out further, like faster, further to everybody that needs to hear really good information. So today, God bless you too, Marilyn. Good morning, Magda. Good to see you. The gang's all here. I love it, love it, love it. So in talking about the gut, this is the deal. If you feel like you are needing to reset your bloating, you're needing to reset your energy, your brain fog, there's a lot of questions that I get from people that we have not yet made that complete connection between what is going on in our general world and our kind of general malaise and feeling of not being able to function in our minds. And that whole bloating conversation that messes us up, especially mentally, because it makes us think that we're gaining and losing fat when we're not. Okay. But all of that, your gut is literally your command center. So there has to be a way of getting across for people to understand that this is an inside job. Let's deal with this as an inside job. That is like monumentally important. I don't know how else to say that. So if your gut is off, your whole life feels off. Your energy, your mood. Oh my gosh, you guys, like depression. Like don't go into the winter with a messed up gut. Like that's called like double trouble because seasonal, you know what I mean? I'm in Minnesota, so I know that feeling of not quite, it's like there's not enough sun and all that stuff. So your mood, your weight, even your confidence. But the good news is your gut can reset faster than you think. But you do have to give it a try. You got to actually work with your body a little bit, okay? So when you feel bloated all the time, that can just be like I don't know. It's kind of like you feel like you eat one thing and you feel like you've gained 10 pounds. You're not gaining 10 pounds daily or weekly. That's not actually happening. But brain fog and constipation slow down your systems. This is absolutely true. And I do have a lot of customers that I have somebody with short gut syndrome who she's used the gut primer that I talk about all the time to reset her gut. And she was having a lot of bathroom issues during the day, right? I have many customers. I talk to you guys all the time about constipation. And if you don't understand what's happening in your body when you are holding on to impacted waste on a regular basis, like the toxin buildup, this is a brain fog connection. If you have a lot of inflammation in your gut, you have a lot of like your lining is just like leaching nutrients and it's inflamed, etc. Like these are all the reasons why we feel so off and we feel so, I feel like this is the way that I always have said it to my husband. I always say like, well, what's wrong with me? Something's wrong with me. Like, I just don't feel myself. Like, where did she go? And that is like how it feels like when our guts are not quite aligned or they're so inflamed that we can't quite get control. But this all relates back to insulin resistance, because did you know that insulin resistance actually creates leaky gut? Did you know that? Did you know that if you don't take care of your gut, it is contributing to the sluggishness of your liver? Or maybe it's probably cyclical, right? Where the sluggishness of your liver, especially like if you've had your gallbladder removed, that sluggishness of your liver, the liver that's supposed to be helping you metabolize fat, and you're wondering why you can't burn a pound of fat to save your life, that liver, that's probably then right connecting to your gut, and it's all in one system. And so if we can take care of the gut, you're going to get so much faster further. So your gut isn't just a stomach. It's like your body's command center. Imagine your gut as the soil of a garden. Okay. If the soil is healthy, the plants thrive. If the soil is depleted, nothing grows right. And that's why fixing your gut literally changes everything. So the problems that we're kind of facing with our gut are like stress. There's so much anxiety. It's almost like anxiety. It feels like, and I think I just recently saw a reel on this. When you as a female are like, oh, I don't want to eat that, it makes my tummy hurt, or that just doesn't make me feel good, or I ate that and now I don't feel good, and whatever. Most of the time, it's because of anxiety. So we're way like off kilter inside of our systems. When you look at, like, if you are the DNR, the Department of Natural Resources, especially like in Minnesota, like that's a big deal, right? Like you cannot touch, I'm going to be very dramatic right now, but it's almost true. You cannot touch a pond of water that was created by a manhole that overflowed because God forbid that there is something in there that is protected by the DNR in Minnesota. Like Minnesota is really strong on this. I'm sure there are a lot of states that are. I'm being dramatic, but I'm just saying, like, there are ecosystems and they protect those ecosystems at all costs. Like, nobody move, because they're going to make sure that that pussy willow is not a protected, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's one egg, if there's one blade of grass that could have been 500 years old, I mean, they're very protected, right? So you have to follow all of these rules. And I'm not even saying that they're all wrong. I'm just saying, like, you know fast. If you live in Minnesota and you own a property, or you think you own it, you can and cannot do a lot of things because there's an ecosystem to protect. But that's not how we treat our own ecosystem. But the dire results of us not treating our own ecosystem is that there are a lot of you you are running around with depression and anxiety, and you're not taking in nutrients, and your insulin resistance is getting worse and worse and worse. And you're like, what is wrong with me? I can't lose a pound to save my life. I can't, my weight is just increasing all the time. My belly is huge. My bloating is out of control. I'm changing sizes, and I need an elastic waistband for all of my skirts. I can't wear jeans anymore, because I'm so bloated. I've got all of these things going on. I've got all of a sudden, we love this term, all of a sudden, I have eczema on my arms and I'm itching, and all of a sudden I have these dry patches, and all of a sudden, and we're like not making that full circle connection back to what's going on inside of our gut. And that's kind of why I'm bringing it up today, because I feel like in one fell swoop, you could address so many things. I have a girlfriend who, she's been a hairstylist for 29 years, and she talks to women daily about how the gut is affecting why you're losing your hair, why you have hair loss. And when she finally addressed her gut and now helps other women to address their gut, they can get their hair to grow back, because it's a systemic conversation, right? So that's how important this is. That's how important this is. So you're wearing, what are you wearing, Marilyn? Hold on. What did I say? So I have to remember what I was saying in order to continue the conversation. I don't know what you were meaning about that. I apologize. So processed foods, sugars, grains. If you even had a clue as to how inflammatory grains are to your system, when you have a messed up system, everybody runs around and thinks that they should be gluten-free, and I'm not even going to argue with that, but it's not about the gluten. Just get rid of the grain altogether. Get rid of the grain. It's so inflammatory. There's even a book out there called Wheat Belly, right? But chemicals, gut lining damage, poor digestion, leaky gut. This leads to low nutrient absorption, hormonal chaos. And hormones, cortisol, insulin, come on. Everything is a hormone. GLP-1, which your gut creates on its own, naturally given to you by God himself. Your body creates GLP-1. Why are you maybe not producing enough of it? Is it a gut issue? Since it's created in your gut, it's all this hormonal stuff, right? So inflammation, insulin resistance, brain fog, belly bloat. Most women don't realize it's not their willpower that's broken. It's their gut environment that's crying out. It's the gut environment. It's a big deal. So hold on. I think I'm missing something. Hold on just a second. I got to see if I'm missing anything. Good morning, Sharon. Joan, you're welcome. Joan, you're just like such a sweet surprise on my show every day, aren't you? I love that so much. Hold on, I'm going to wipe my nose. Apparently my sneeze made me like have post-nasal drip. I don't know. I don't normally. I'm tickling. Okay, thank you, Joan. You're so sweet. I love you. That's so amazing. You can relate to so many of these things. I know. And it's like, I just feel like, I think that and if I am tired of it, I think you're tired of it too. And maybe there's a part of me that's tired of it because you tell me about how weary you are of a medical community that never addresses these root causes and is only ever kind of making you feel like you're just not doing something right. You're just failing in your endeavors. And sometimes that shows up a lot in the whole weight loss conversation of, the whole eat less, move more thing. And you just must not be tracking your food well, that kind of a thing. But also too, it could just be like they're overlooking, like maybe it's the stresses of your job, the stresses of taking care of a dementia parent. Like, listen, I've done all of this. The stresses of, you just got over a really bad, hard relationship. Maybe you just went through a divorce. Maybe you had somebody in your family. Yeah, I mean, I could go on and I won't do it, but just think about a lot of the crisis that can be around us on a daily basis through the news that we watch and through the things that happen in our own states. And that's why I'm not going to go into it, because just FYI, I'm from Minnesota. So you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. But it's like, you know what? We have all of these things in our lives. And so we kind of get racked up a little bit. And if you could understand how to calm your systems and bring down your inflammation and to bring down all of the reactions that are going on in your body, the fight and the flight and the cortisol and all of the things, your body can actually relax and produce for you what you're wanting. You have to get your body positioned to produce what it is that you're wanting, whether it's weight loss or whether it is you're just needing anxiety to get under control. You're needing to finally sleep for the first time. You're tired of being so fatigued, like that fatigue overwhelms you. Or maybe you're just like tired of doctor's appointments and filling scripts. And, you know, your new best friend is the pharmacist at Walgreens, you know, or whatever it is. And you're just like, this is not exactly how I was planning this all to look. And so I was supposed to be an empty nester with all this fun, with all of this whatever. And here I am now kind of like, I don't even know if I should go out because like my bathroom habits aren't quite on point. Like I have way too much diarrhea, you know. I look at lettuce and I have to go to the bathroom. Or you're on the opposite side going, listen, I haven't gone in days. And I'm just, my tummy's hard. And I don't feel good. It makes me feel nauseous. I have waves of nausea. I don't feel good. I need to stay home and figure out how to get things moving again. Or you're yet again going to Walgreens and you're getting something that's over the counter to help your stool move through you. This is all way, way, way too common. I wish that people were like, oh, I don't need any of this information. This is not me. This is not me. This is not me. I wish that were true. But that's not where we are. We are actually at like all the women in the room. Raise your hand if you feel like you've got gut issues, digestion issues, you've got constipation, maybe you have diarrhea, maybe you're bloated all the time, maybe you have a lot of brain fog, or you're not sleeping, or you're really, really fatigued. Raise your hand and all the hands go up, double hands. And this is just where we are. So let's start with where we are, right? So the different things that you can actually do, and we've talked about it a little bit before, is, you know, anything that has to do with lymphatic drainage, getting outside and walking. This is why walking is so imperative, because your lymphatic system can't move if you don't move, if you don't do it. So some of you are buying rebounders. Some of you are buying vibration plates. I've thought about that. I still do think about it from time to time, but getting on a vibration plate, going for a walk, using a dry brush and brushing up your legs and up your arms towards your heart, using, you know, and doing that before you get in the shower. And moving your lymphatic system, using gua sha on your face and moving the toxins up and out, down and down, right? And get it to drain, because your body is a waste system and it needs to function. Let's go back to the, you know, the pond water by the manhole in Minnesota, which really isn't a real scenario. It's just my fake scenario. You know, and it's this ecosystem that they're going to protect at all costs. They're going to put cones around it. They're going to make you drive around it because, you know, heaven forbid that there's a, you know, there's a species in there that, you know, we haven't seen for 2,000 years or something, and they're going to protect it. We have to do that to us too. We have to get like our drainage, all of our drainage moving, you know, doing things like you can do. I don't want to mess up my microphone, but you can do things like under your arms like this, and do things on your collarbone like this. And you can start moving your lymphatic system. You can even use your hands. You don't even have to have a gua sha stone. You can use your hands. You can use use something slippery. Like I have they just discontinued it, so I apologize, because it's like the most phenomenal product ever. But it's a lavender, it's a CBD facial oil. And so it's slippy, that's my word, but it's not, obviously it's non-comedogenic. It's not going to clog your pores or anything or do anything weird. And you literally can put that on, and you can use your knuckles, and you can go out and down and then get down, you know, make it leave your body. These are all tools that you could use. You don't have to have anything special. Some of you are doing castor oil packs. You're using the packs right around your liver area, and you're putting castor oil on them, and you're sleeping in them. All of these things are very helpful. Like, don't poo-poo the simple home remedies that they've been using for thousands of years to just get our bodies to function, because we are so stagnant. We are very, very stagnant. And that's not very helpful for anybody, right? You can do things. We've talked about this recently. When I talk about like the liver reset stack, I talk about what if you have, lemon in warm water at the beginning of the day, help your liver to kind of flush out a little bit. What if you, eat things that are probiotic foods like sauerkraut or kimchi, or right? Like there are things that we can do, and these are all very helpful. Most of us are beyond those things. I mean, those are all like, do all of them. Most of us are kind of beyond, and we need a different layer of help faster. And so, like, for instance, now, I don't know if Claudette is on. You're new, Alta. Nice to meet you. Best way to get carbs without whites or grains. Oh, Marla, I will share that with you. Give me a second. So I don't think Claudette is on here now, but Claudette was really struggling with, she's in her 70s, really struggling with a lot of constipation, using over-the-counter stuff like from, the drugstore all the time. And when I talk about like the gut primer, it dealt with her constipation within like 3 days. And she refused to evacuate for the hurricane. This is last fall. To go, she's in Florida. She had to evacuate to go to Miami to be safe. And she's like, I took that with me, baby. And that's how I feel. Like, I traveled 4 times this summer. Do you think I ever traveled? In fact, my little glass jar is still right by me, even though it's empty now. My little glass jar. Okay, you guys, it's a funny story. Do you have 2 seconds for a funny story? What time is it? I want to stay on time today. So I had my little glass jars filled up. And I had this one with my gut primer in it. And then I had 2 other glass jars. And I've done a lot of traveling, and I don't get stopped by TSA. So I'm just like, I was feeling super confident and whatever. And then I had another one that had my white vanilla grass-fed whey protein powder in it. And then I had one that had chocolate in it. And they're in my backpack. So they're in my carry-on. And I go through TSA, and it was really kind of weird to begin with. So I don't really know if this, I don't know. So I go through TSA, and they were kind of being, this is Minneapolis, and they were kind of being a little snarky that morning. They kind of maybe didn't have their coffee. And that's not usual, I must say. They're usually very nice. But like, for instance, I said, oh, I heard we don't have to take off our shoes anymore. And she goes, yet. I'm like, okay. Or, so I'm like, whatever. So I go through the thing, and I get flagged. My body gets flagged. I have no idea why. Literally, there's not a belt on there's nothing. I don't have any metal in my body. Not even like, I don't think a bobby pin in my hair, nothing. But like my underwire bra went off. So that was the thing. And that's never happened. Like, I've worn an underwire bra like my whole life, like since I was 13, or I'm, maybe not, I don't know. So I'm like, this is weird. So all of my luggage gets flagged. No idea why. They literally went through my jars like they were, like they were not amused. So my tip to you is, yes, you can travel with these. Just put them on your carry-on, especially if it's a green powder. They were not amused at all. But I don't want to travel without my stuff, because I spent so many years feeling like trash. I felt so many years in a constant cycle of, oh, I'm going to enjoy the food that's in front of me because we're celebrating a birthday, because we're at the Minnesota State Fair, because it's Christmas time and my mom made the special candies, because somebody died and they were Italian and you don't miss an Italian funeral food. Because it's, fill in the blank. Like, that was my life, right? But then it was the crash and the bloat and the constipation and the feeling like trash and the brain fog and the lack of sleeping, all of it, right? And then you're wondering why you're battling depression and all of these things. So now that I'm balanced, I don't want to be imbalanced, right? So anyway, talking about that gut primer, that fixed constipation for her. Somebody else, 15 times a day, diarrhea because of short gut syndrome, fixed that. Like, what if you could have further help? So that is why I always talk about At the end of usually every one of my lives, as we're talking about whatever topic it is that has to do with insulin resistance, I do talk to you about supplementation, but that's because that's what fixed me first. Some of you, like Terry, when she jumps on here, Terry's the one that lost 49 pounds last year. She weighs less than she did 30 years ago. She started with food, and you can start with food too. You do not have to start with the supplementation. You don't. You can start with the food. That's why I have a free protein blueprint for you. It's why I do free challenges in the Facebook group, all of the things, right? But if you needed to do only one thing for your gut today, I'm only going to talk to you about one thing. It would be the gut reset protocol. That's what that would be for you today, because this is where I'm seeing the greatest results, hands down, hands down. So something that has fermented greens in it. It has fruit and vegetable concentrates. It's all from organic farming, alkaline spices, prebiotics and fiber, digestive enzymes, postbiotics, like all of the goodness in one thing. This is why the results are so great. It's because there's a lot in it. So this is what it looks like. It's a green powder. It's not a greens product, but it is a green powder. And I do a scoop of this every freaking single morning with a little bit of water, and I take it like a wellness shot. Think about a wellness shot that you see at a coffee shop or you see at a farmer's market or whatever. That's what I do. I don't sip on it. It tastes like tea. I don't like tea. It's very green tea, very turmeric-y, gingery, very fresh. But I'm like, I'm not going to be sipping it. That's just me. I have a friend, I've said this before, she says it tastes like Christmas in a cup. I don't know what country she's celebrating Christmas in. I do not think that it tastes like Christmas in a cup. But every day I froth this up, and I can't even tell you the difference that it can make in supporting. Just close your eyes for a moment and think about this terminology. Supporting to heal and seal your gut once and for all. Like, what if you could heal and seal your gut? What if you could bring down that inflammation? What if you could actually absorb the nutrients and you feel like that flood of nutrition is starting to kind of come into your body and do what it's supposed to do? Just like the ecosystems that we protect in our water, ways in Minnesota. And you need to have this perfect ecosystem for everything to thrive and live and like bloom. You want the lily pads. I don't know if you have those in your state, but Minnesota's full of lily pads, where the flowers grow and the loons are in the lakes and they're, making their noise. And this is Minnesota, right? 10,000 lakes. But you have to have ecosystems that thrive. And if you have an ecosystem that has like a flesh-eating disease or whatever's going on in the lakes in Minnesota, they get shut down immediately. Nobody can swim in those, right? You can't go boating. You can't get the bad stuff on the bottom of your boat and then go to another lake. Like they strictly prohibit all sorts of things because you can't be spreading stuff. But this is what you have to do for your own system. So the people that I talk to you about, they haven't stopped taking this. This is now a part of their life, right? Where they're doing a gut primer every day and then the probiotic. Now, this is a powder probiotic. It has 5 alive strains. And this is just the gut reset protocol. You can ask me about the gut reset protocol. 5 live strains, and you just put it on your tongue like this every day. It tastes like the bottom of a cereal bag. I don't know why. It just does. You have confirmed this for me. I've been using this for years. My whole point in that, my side note on that is, if for any reason you feel like you are stressed, you have high cortisol, you've got issues like that, there is a different probiotic that you can choose. There's a different one, and it literally is for stress. And it's a tablet, not a powder. So if you need a formula that's very specific, you've shot your adrenals, you just came out of that hard season, you are currently taking care of a patient or a parent, not a patient, but it could be a parent with dementia or something is stressful in your life, your job. I know somebody who, this was a long time ago, 25 years ago, she was so stressed out at her job in her position. And she was so kind of like maybe not assessing herself very well, right? Like that's sometimes we're so in it that her blood pressure was so high, she had blood coming out of her eye. So we get into these situations and sometimes we don't know how to get out. But if we want to begin to heal and seal, I'm telling you, this is a great way to start your journey. And yes, it will 100% support your insulin resistance towards insulin sensitivity, because insulin is a hormone, and this is a hormonal conversation. Hormonal conversation, liver conversation, cellular conversation. Like, you have to do things to get things to move, right? I do want to, do you start with warm lemon water in the morning? Today you did that, Jody. That's fantastic. I'm gonna make sure that I answer this question though. Marla is asking this question, and if you need the gut reset protocol, you can either go to my site, which is my first last name.com, and my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and you can do it that way, or you can get into my messenger. Have to think of my term. My messenger, my Instagram, DMs, etc. I was hoping that it would come up, but it's not going to, I don't think. Yeah, it is. So when you get onto my kirstenliebelt.com, right here, you see my picture. That's how you know you're there. But at the very top, I'm just going to check here because I don't know if I have only those two together. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. In fact, I have a video that I did. You can go on my page and see it. I just want you to know where to get it. There we go. Primer and probiotic. Okay. So Marla's question has to do with carbs. There we go. It is right there. So I'm going to show you. She wants to know how to get carbs without whites or grains. And Marla, I'm assuming when you say whites, what you're meaning like white flour, white sugar, or whatever. You're not meaning egg whites, right? So here's my site. Okay, there's my picture. Go down until you see right here. It'll say up at the top, gut reset protocol. Go to the second button. And you are going to see there. I have a video there for you and a cart. So you can get further information. You don't have to feel like you're without information or without help, or you forgot to reach out to me or whatever. You can just go and get it yourself if you want to, or you can talk to me. So without whites or grains, I was going to see if you had answered that, but no. Okay, no problem. No problem. I do a couple of different things. I do an egg white protein bread. Has anybody ever tried the egg white protein bread where you're using egg whites and protein powder? And it has to be an egg white protein powder. It can't just be like a whey or a pea or anything like that. It has to be egg white. And this is a Maria Emmerich recipe, and it's wonderful. In my opinion, it has served its purpose for me very, very well. And again, I'll give you the free recipe here. So on my site, which is kirstenliebelt.com, you'll see my picture, but then right under here, free resources, free. So here's the stacks I generally talk about. Here's free protein blueprint. Here's the free egg white bread right there. So this is how I do grain free. That's the egg white bread. I just made a loaf the other day. There's the recipe. You can get the egg white powder. Those are my Amazon links. So that's the egg white bread. That's one way that I do grain free, because you're right. It is challenging to be grain free. Listen, the way that you asked the question was, how do you get carbs without, white? Okay. So yep. She says flour, sugar, rice, potatoes, pasta. The best to get carbs. So this is the premise of that question is thinking that you, number one, have to have carbs, which isn't true. I'm not carnivore, but people thrive on carnivore. They thrive, like people, especially with Hashimoto's. If you or somebody you know that has Hashimoto's, I recommend that you go and you look up Dr. Kiltz, Kiltz. He's a fertility doctor out of New York, and he helps women boost their fertility availability through carnivore. Dr. Ken Berry, Maria Emmerich has a lot of carnivore stuff. That's a side note. But then number two, we actually don't even realize that there are carbs in almost everything. The only things that don't have carbs are like meat, eggs have very, very little, if any, like everything else does. Onions and garlic and broccoli and cauliflower, they all have carbs. We're eating carbs all the time. We think though, in terms of carbs, as far as I know what you're meaning. You're meaning starchy vegetables and you're meaning grain and you're meaning sugar. And I totally get that. And here I am teaching sugar-free, grain-free, and legume-free. And the reason why I do that is because when you are insulin resistant, you have to stop the cycle. Spiking your sugars, calling on insulin to go get the sugar to bring it into your cell, but your cell is resistant. So now everything is inflammation and everything is laying down as fat, visceral fat inside of your liver and your intestines and your organs, yada, yada. So you have to stop that cycle. So all of my trade outs that I have worked to create for myself, and then now you guys are doing the same thing. Yesterday, Terry said that she had made the keto lasagna. She made the sugar-free chocolate pudding. She made, I forget what else, something else. Like, you guys are learning. You're putting recipes into your repertoire too. If you want something that is sugary, because you're a sweet tooth like me, but you need it to not be sugar, go to All Day I Dream About Food. She has a great blog. She does a ton of sweet treats. If you need something more savory, I highly recommend that you do something like through Maria Emmerich. And the reason why is because she is a genius at food ingredient trade outs. And again, I'm going right back to my my site again. And if you scroll up just a little bit, there's my Amazon links for favorites. And at the very top, you'll see it's Maria Emmerich's 30-day ketogenic cleanse right here. And it is a dairy-free, grain-free, sugar-free cookbook. Amazing recipes. You might think that that's lame. It's not. She has like a breakfast chili. The price on that today is $10.25 if you go through my link. I'm just telling you, that's amazing. $10.25. This is where I started. I'm Italian. I was never going to trade out my food ever, 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 because food was celebration and mourning and fun and stress and boredom. And we eat for all those reasons, right? I was never going to trade out my foods. But the truth is that when I started to learn things like this from Maria Emmerich, how to make the keto lasagna where you're using deli chicken breast instead of lasagna noodles, it's It's amazing. And it's crazy because if you think about it for 2 seconds, you do not eat lasagna to taste that noodle. The noodle has taken on the flavor of the lasagna. It's really amazing. So things like that, I don't create that kind of stuff. I just tell you about it. So if you're looking for savory trade outs, I would say Maria Emmerich. I recommend her 30-day ketogenic cleanse book the most, not because I followed it verbatim. I didn't do any of the meal plans. Yet she has a bunch at the front. I did not, there's so many things that I didn't do, but I adopted her mentality. I adopted a lot of her recipes. I've adopted her mindset around thinking in terms of how to actually focus highly on proteins that don't spike your sugars, because when you're insulin resistant, you have to play the game different. Moderate, really good fats, very, very low carbs. So I hope that kind of answers. And every month that I do my 5-day free challenge in the group, we do a recipe. So we've been doing that for a long time, and we've done everything from keto lasagna to like keto granola and lemon blueberry bars and breakfast chili. And we've done a lot of different things because you do not have to spend this upcoming weekend reading cookbooks and writing things down and taking notes like you're going to have a final exam on Monday because Monday you're starting your diet. None of that baloney. None of that. Instead, I am going to learn how to fish. One ingredient at a time and one recipe at a time. And I'm just going to start trading out the things that I love the most. So that is your first question, and that is your homework. Ask yourself the question today: What is the food that I love more than anything? And then go and find a trade out for it and practice it. Get the ingredients, practice it. Sometimes it's not going to turn out. Okay. Sometimes you're going to be like, oh, that didn't work. But then you will try something that does work, or you'll tweak it for yourself. And now you have one recipe in your repertoire that you can take with you and make for yourself on an ongoing basis. For me, my answer to this was the 7-layer bar. I wanted to make something that I love, like corn syrup and shredded coconut and butterscotch chips and all of it, like all of that ooey gooey goodness that you would find at a party at Christmas time. That's my idea of fun. Now, I don't eat like that all the time, but I sure know where to go get one if I need to and make it and bring it with me to a party. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or to have it on hand if I'm going to have company, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can find your own trade out and be amazed You're so welcome, Marla. You're so welcome. I hope that helped. Alicia, she was asking about the products for insulin resistance. I don't know, because sometimes I'm not sure anything that, like, I don't know what content you've seen of mine. However, when I do talk about insulin resistance and supplementation in general, I'm a broken record. I'm very narrow. I'm very streamlined. It's what I did. It's what I started locally doing and coaching people. And it's what I've done online coaching now for a long, long time. So I'm very narrow and streamlined. And I only ever source things for you that will actually move the needle for you in terms of insulin sensitivity. Very important. You can become metabolically flexible. You can turn around your insulin resistance. No, I'm not a doctor. So in my opinion, you 100% can. And you can look at people like Dr. Ken Berry and Dr. Eric Berg and Maria Emmerich. And there's so many good people that can help you understand it better and better and better. Having said that, almost every single day I reference the trio. These are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. These are the ones that I started with when I was a little over 10 years ago, and they have fully supported me in losing 3 sizes in my 50s. Because as an insulin resistant person, as an insulin resistant person, when your insulin is high and your liver is sluggish, you can't burn fat. This addresses both. But this is all I had available to me. And this one goes out of stock more than I would like it to, but it's in stock right now. FYI, just happened yesterday. As an insulin resistant person, now you guys have more available to you than I ever did. So then launched the gut primer and the probiotic. Game changer. Because now your bodies are actually moving and flowing and expelling, getting rid of toxins, and your liver is going, woohoo! Your liver is so happy because now it can actually burn and metabolize fat for you. But you probably never knew that you needed that. You didn't understand. No doctor told you, honey, you're a little pudgy in your belly because your liver's sluggish. Who's telling you this? Nobody's telling you this, right? And then the last one is the orange pixie stick. And this I pulled out of the sports nutrition line. It's a clinical dose of an extract. It tastes like orange candy. It's very good. You put it on your tongue every day, and it targets visceral fat. It changes your BMI. So when you do all of this together, I actually wasn't going to go through all of this with you today, but I'm doing it just asked. All of this together, I call the total body reset. So there are 6 products in it. Total body reset. This is where a ton of those testimonies come from. A ton of testimonies, including labs, A1C labs, fatty liver MRIs, including body scans of visceral fat going down, including really great weight loss, inches lost, like 6, 5, 3, like lots of inches lost, including all the non-scale victories of tucking in your blouse and whatever, because your body was made to function a certain way. And nobody, that's dramatic. Most everybody is not talking to you about the root cause of how to actually lose weight, get off meds, stop the bloating, the constipation, and all of these problems that we're having, all of these symptoms. They're not talking to you about it through the lens of insulin resistance. Everything is a Band-Aid. Every script is a Band-Aid. Every program that was not put together for somebody who is insulin resistant. And so they're telling you can have popcorn all you want. That's a skinny food. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. They're lying to you. They're not telling you that inside of popcorn, it is literally like 5 cups of popcorn is like 9 teaspoons of sugar in your blood, because nobody's talking to you in those terms. They're talking to you in terms of calories. Calories. Eat less. Move more. That will not move your needle when you are insulin resistant, potentially for a short period of time. But corn turns into corn syrup. Popcorn, corn syrup. What do you feed cows to fatten cows to go to sale? Corn. Like, you have to follow this, but they're not going to do that. They're going to market to you a certain way. So anyway, I hope that answered your question about like just what I talk about in general when it comes to supplementation. Always reach out and ask me. You can always go to my site. If you're like, lady, I do not want to talk to you. I do not want to talk to you and tell you my problems. Some of you do. Some of you do, and I welcome that. Some of you are like, you'll give me a paragraph of this is what's been going on in my world, because you just want somebody to freaking listen to you for the first time ever, because you feel very unheard, and I'm aware. I always say thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. You just feel unheard. And you're ready. You're ready to give yourself permission for the journey. You're ready to actually do something about your health and to be in a different place by January 1, by March 1. You're ready. You know, what does the next year hold for you? I don't know. But if you're ready, I'm ready. I'm sitting here ready. I'm just ready. I'm ready to walk journey with people. Monday, I'll wrap up with this. We're going into the 5-day challenge in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. You can jump in there. Make sure you give your email to get in. No bots allowed. And we'll do a free 5-day challenge next week. Every day at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will go over insulin resistance and food ingredient trade outs, and what does my pantry look like today, and my refrigerator, and what kind of a recipe can we make with each other next week. And this is our 28th one. So we're a very strong community of females in there, 6,000 strong, working to become our own advocates and to like take back our own health, because sometimes we feel like nobody's listening and we're frustrated. And I do not blame you. So if that resonates with you, hook up with me. Just get your arm, put your arm there. Like, let's do that. All right, let's do it. But I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll talk about insulin resistance again. Get into my DMs, and I've been more than happy to chat with you or answer any questions, because this is what I do. This is my full-time universe, and I'm so grateful for it. You have no idea. So, all right. See you guys later. Have a good day.